On today's episode of Tuesday Talks with Opie, I chat with the incomparable actress Manni L. Perez. We talk about her love for fitness, lessons learned in her acting career, as well as how she takes care of her mental health. Join us for today's conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Talks with Opie. Today with me is the beautiful actress Manni L. Perez. Welcome to the show, Manni.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here, and we're matching today, as you can see, everyone. You know, we've got the cheetah, or maybe it's a leopard. But yeah, I've known Manni for a few years now, and I am just so attracted to her personality, her down-to-earth attitude, she has empathy, I should say. That is one thing that I realize about her. She's able to connect with people just by, through emotions, through her words, and she's just able to just capture you just by her spirit and her appearance. So I'm so glad to have you on the show. And today I just want to, dive right into your world in fitness, as well as your career as an actress. But I want to start off with fitness because I think you're like, every time I see your videos on Instagram, you are killing it. And I think a lot of that has an inspiration, the inspiration comes from your family. So I want you to dive into that a little bit. What got you into the world of fitness and wellness?
My mom. My mom was a bodybuilder and a powerlifter. Also my dad. My dad, when he was young, he was an athlete, and then he was a Marine, and now he's just dad. But yeah, so I have two. Well, my father's not active now because he's old, but my mom still trains. Like, you've seen her. She's still ready to get on stage and compete.
Absolutely.
But yeah, mainly my mom, growing up watching her, because she would powerlift crazy amounts pregnant. When she was pregnant with my brother, she was still powerlifting and winning. She's never lost. Bodybuilding never lost. And it's just growing up and seeing her, like when people see their mom, I can only speak for myself. She is my my role model in terms of like what a woman is, what does a woman do, and everything. And she instilled a lot of things in me, and being fit and be able to defend myself and just being strong all over, mind, body, everything. Right. Definitely comes from watching her.
And what kind of type of exercises or fitness are you into? It's such a wide, are you also into powerlifting and bodybuilding?
Not powerlifting. No. No. Bodybuilding, I wanted to do a competition. But with my career, there are people, actresses who do compete, and they're also actresses. It's hard for me to focus on too many things at once, so I try to stay on one thing. Definitely weightlifting, though. I love heavy weightlifting, mostly that.
And I know that you're also into a little bit of boxing too.
Oh yeah,
you can definitely fight a little bit. Did that also come from anyone in your family, or is that a passion that you realized on your own terms?
When I graduated from OC, like the first 2 years, I don't know, I needed like an emotional outlet. And the gym is that for me. The gym is therapy, but I needed something that was more physical with more contact. So I did MMA, BJJ, and Muay Thai, and I fell in love with it. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't do it anymore.
Not anymore.
Muay Thai was my favorite, but I would like to get in the ring, not to fight, but I would like to go to a boxing gym to learn more combos and do more handwork. But yeah.
And what are those whenever you're getting ready to how long is your workouts usually? How long do you usually spend in the gym on average?
2 hours a day.
2 hours a day? Every day? Mm-hmm. Wow.
No, 5-6 days out of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, I need those rest days. Well, you lift way more than I do. I see you. I see you, deltoids.
By the time you do a full body workout, you're pretty much like, okay, can I? Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I see you. I see your traps and your deltoids. They're very developed.
I'm working on them. I remember when your mom made that comment when I first met her, right? And I was like, man, this woman is built like you said, she's still on her fitness, incredible fit.
Yeah.
And then she like mentioned, she's like, oh, I love your deltoids. And I was just so like, thank you. Like,
When you do workouts and stuff, I'll show her. If she's around, I'll be like, hey, look, she's like, she's so strong. Because you know, my mom talks like, oh my goodness, Amanda, she is so strong. Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So when you're not in the gym, what else do you like to do on your downtime?
I wish I was cool and not boring, but it's either the gym or work, or I bake and stuff, or I'll volunteer at the shelter, the animal shelter by where I live.
Right.
And that's, I mean, I do little stuff in between, like I'll dance, like in terms of like practicing belly dance or samba, because I used to be a professional dancer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm incorporating that more now. To it. Well, I told you I had an injury in my back, so now I'm like, I want to engage my core, but I can't do it with heavy weights. So I'm getting back into dance. So either volunteering, dance, or work. Really.
And you mentioned the animal shelter. How long have you been volunteering at the animal shelter? And what inspired you to do so?
Like 4 to 5 years. I haven't been recently because I've been away filming a lot this year, but surprisingly enough, during COVID, I was away filming a lot last year. Yeah. I was really lucky about that. But I want to adopt a cat, but it's so much responsibility. So I figure if I personally can't foster or have the time, because you know it's a lot of time I have to put into the animal that I just don't have.
And you're also away filming and everything, so you're not there to give them the attention that they need.
Yeah, and if I had a pet, I can't take it. Look, I can't take them on the plane ride to if I'm filming here or there. They can't come with me, and there's nobody else to watch them. So I figured I just donate a lot of cleaning supplies. Like I'll buy $100 worth of Clorox and just gloves and sponges, everything to keep things clean. And then not this past year, but usually I would go in and volunteer. But there's new directors now, and so I just donate money and I'll donate stuff. Yeah,
stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like a bad person, but there was one lady that works there now. She's nice to me now, but I had been there they cycled through 4 directors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Within those 5 years that you've been going.
Through 4, and she didn't know who I was, and I had been there for so long. So she used to give me nasty attitudes, and I was like, she's nice to me now.
And you're like, because I donate stuff with the animals. Like, why?
God. I'll go in like with the laser pointer and I'll play with the cats and adoption thing and take the kittens out and let them play and stuff. But I've been filming so much, I just haven't had time to do it this year.
Okay. So what are you, I mean, I know the animal shelter has different animals, but are you team cat or team dog?
More cat.
Okay.
I'm more of a cat person because they're a little bit more independent. Like having a dog is a lifestyle.
Right.
You know, waking up at 5 a.m., putting them on a run, getting them tired out so they don't have anxiety during the day, coming back from work, putting them on the run back and forth. I don't have that time.
Yeah. Gotcha. So you said, I mean, as you mentioned, you're an actress and you're always out filming. So it really just limits the time that you have to do anything else. Yeah. Whenever you have that downtime, you want to just either work out or just kind of relax and do your own thing. So how did you even get into acting? Has it been something that you were doing as a little kid, or what inspired you to go down that route?
When I was younger, I didn't want to be an actress. I wanted to be a dance teacher and travel the world. I kind of just fell into acting. I had a professor, when I had gone to a community college for the first 2 years, I had a professor who was like, what do you want to do with your life? I was like, I don't know. I want to either join the military or be a dance teacher. And he was like, no, I see you being an actress. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he's like, no, I see you doing TV and film. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll see what that's like. And I just rolled right into it. There was no, I'm going to be an actor. There was no defining moment. It was just, it organically happened.
Wow. And you went from, it was Orange County Community College, right?
Yeah. And then I went to NYU.
So you went to, and then you went to NYU. Like that's a huge step. So you were dedicated to doing film and TV after that. How was your experience at NYU?
You know, it's funny because I really just did the bare minimum at NYU.
Okay.
And I passed with high honors and everything. But I think the studio that I was in, because they have different studios. They have Atlantic, Playwrights Horizon, Stella Adler. I was in ETW, the Experimental Theater Wing, and I just think maybe they placed me in the wrong studio.
Okay.
But I did meet a lot of great people, and it's good to have on my resume, I guess. It was good. It was too, like, everybody do a cuddle puddle. And back then I didn't like people touching me. So I'd be like, ugh. And they're like, their one teacher was like touching my face, like her hands touched her feet, they touched the floor. She's touching everybody. And then she touched my face. And I was
definitely
like,
not with COVID,
right?
Right?
I'm like,
you can't do that now.
Right, I'm looking at her. I'm like, you don't touch your nasty feet on this dookie floor, and now you trying to touch my face. And she told me, if you don't let me touch your face, you're never gonna make it in acting. Nobody has had to touch my face yet in acting, so I don't know what she was trying to teach me. But yeah, let me stop. Let me go back to being prim and proper. Yes, NYU was great. Best experience of my life. Oh.
So I would say that you probably side with that experience, be not just like, the education institution that you go to, but really experiencing and being in that moment would be even better served for an actress.
Yeah. I think if somebody is going to become an actor, to go to a university, unless like if you want to be a teacher too, or minor in something or have 2 majors, yeah, definitely go to university. If you just want to be an actor, just go to a conservatory for 2 years, save the money. It's the same technique. There's different techniques, but it's the same type of training, really. Like, people don't have to dish out so much money to go to a fancy university. That's something that I learned afterwards.
Right.
But when people are like, where do I go? Definitely go to a conservatory. Save your money, please. Universities are very expensive.
That it is. That I can definitely.
It is.
So you've done quite a few like works. I've had the pleasure of like seeing some of your scenes. Like you were on the Blacklist. You were also, I'm forgetting the name of the show right now, but one of the ones that I've seen recently was the SVU episode. And oh my gosh, like that was just action packed in the sense that you used every part of your body. It wasn't just in your words, it was in your actions. It was the scene where you were talking to your father, through the glass, and you literally jumped on the table. And I was like, I know that she was probably out of breath after that scene because you're putting your all into it. How do you prepare for something like that? Because it's not just, again, just using your words to express, but you're using your whole body. How do you prepare for roles like that?
I was very lucky that when I got the audition for it, they had sent me the full script and the sides. Okay. And I read the sides and I was like, it was making me tear up a bit. And I was like, what? And then I read the whole script for that episode and I was bawling my eyes out by the end. And for me, I've been very lucky that things that I do get casted for are 100% in my wheelhouse and are right for me. So it's not, how I say, there wasn't a big process I had to go through. I just had to bring out certain things within myself that matched her. It just so happens we had I call her like if she's, me and Esperanza had a lot of things in common. We fight, we're guarded, yet we're sensitive, yet, all that stuff. And it was in the writing too. Their writing team is amazing. And it was a complete collaborative process. I felt very safe. I felt important and they listened to me. The director was like, hey, listen, are you good? He's like, do whatever you want. But Dan Silva was like, Manny, I trust you, do whatever you want. And that scene, when I jumped on that, nobody knew I was going to do that. Yeah. And they told the actor, the cop that pulls me away. Yeah. They told him, what are you playing? He's like, a cop. Okay, so what does a cop do? I'm going to get her in check. And I told him, as forceful as you have to be with me, do it, because I'm not going to hold back. Because in this moment, I am going to get up and kick booty. You know what I mean? And there was a whole couple of paragraphs of lines that I completely cut. Wow. Yeah, it was just in the moment. Bah, bah, bah.
No, I felt for Esperanza in that moment. I was tearing up. I was so angry. Like I wanted to fight with her. Like I was so... But yeah, how do you get into all those other characters too, even other than just the action base? How do you get yourself ready for any character before you get on set? You get the character, you read about it, you get the script. What is the other type of preparation that you have to do before you are ready?
Why did I say ready like that? I was like, yes, that's very, yes. So when I get an audition, I always look at who's the producer, who's the writers, who are the directors. I look them up. I look up their work to feel where this character, what's the world that they're in. And usually I can get a good idea of how to play things out. If it's a comedy, it's different than a drama. Drama is different from a cop drama, and they're all different things. So I always look up who's in the team, what other actors are casted. I watch episodes on YouTube of the show so I can understand it. And then I sit down with the script and I read it through, all the directions and everything. I look at the character breakdown. If they send me the full script, I read that first, right off the bat. Mm-hmm. And I just break it down. There's no the researching is a part of it. Okay. But to get into the character, I just keep reading the script and it organically happens, because each character, these things that I get, they're right for me. They're usually right for me, where I don't have to do too much work to become that character, because it's still a part of me. So if I get casted as this demented serial killer, I have to pull out the craziness inside. I mean, anybody's capable of doing it. Like, we're all human. So whatever emotions or anger or whatever
you have bottled in, you pick the one and then you expand on it.
And then when I'm done with the character, I try to put them in a box. Sometimes they want to stay and they're like, we're not going anywhere. I'm like, so sometimes I just let them lay themselves to rest. Sometimes it takes time after shooting, like Esperanza. I had a project a week after I wrapped set with Law and Order. And that whole week I was trying to prepare for this new project I was working on. And she just lingered and lingered and lingered. And it was like, okay, can you go away? Like, I would just break down crying out of nowhere. And I'm like, Esperanza, like, go
still away. Feel her story, like, as if it was
yeah, I was like, you need to go to sleep now. Go in your box in my, mind and go away already. Yeah.
What role do you what kind of character would you want to play in the future? I know you've talked about those characters are quite similar, a little bit similar to you, so you don't have to, you're able to easily pick them out from who you are. What type of role would you like to try in the future that would be completely something that's opposite of any part of you?
I guess I'm going to answer this as if it's different parts of the industry.
Okay.
So to play a role, everybody tells me that I kind of look like Amanda Nunez. Okay. So if I could play her in like a biopic or something, that would be great. I just have to learn Portuguese and the accent, right? But that's like, even though it's fighting and it is in my wheelhouse, it's really out there. Like, I would have to do so much preparation for that. I would love to do that as a film or a movie or a TV show or something. But right now I've been transitioning my career into voiceover and motion capture. Okay. So in this moment, I would love to book like a lead role or one of the lead roles on a children's animation for VO. Actually, that's what I want. And to do motion capture, like step aside from TV and film and do more voiceover motion capture. Okay. Those are where my loves are.
And what type of stories would you like to tell with your characters? Like, what type of either voiceover or film and TV would you like to tell?
I really don't know. I really don't know. And that's something I have to think about. That's something I never thought about.
Do you find yourself as someone that will, maybe you're always, or you enjoy stories of people who face adversity and overcome them? Or what kind of roles really, other than the ones that, of course, that we've talked about, do you find yourself wanting to talk about more or be involved with?
I have to think about that. I don't know if this is answering the question, what I have in my head, but I'm just gonna say it, and maybe it's gonna make
Go
sense.
ahead. Yes, that's
So since I'm really into animation, like I will watch a kids movie in the movie theaters, but I won't watch like a movie with just people in the theater. I don't even bother. Like I still watch cartoons. I'm one of those people, you know? If the stories that I would like to tell or the characters I would like to play are characters that on the outside, they're not very likable, but as you get to know them, you fall in love with them. Kind of like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
This is going to be weird. Ron Perlman's Hellboy.
I'm not familiar with, but I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, or like anime, like Inuyasha, characters like that, where they have this really strong guard up and they're so unlikable. But as you get to know them and as they become comfortable or they begin to trust the world around them, it's hard not to fall in love with them.
They're like an onion. You got to peel the layers and then you got to get right into them. And then they're all nice and sweet.
Yeah, because it's completely different from my personality. Like I have no shame. I will say what I want to say, do what I want to do, and I'm open. But to play a more guarded character and what happens in that mind of being, you know, someone who's very abrasive, yet there's something like maybe an a-hole, but there's something about you I love, and then we get to find out about that later on, you know?
Right.
I love characters like that.
What about what is there any other thing that you would want to do other than acting? Like I know you just mentioned voiceover, but would you like to write a script, direct one day? Is there anything else that you would love to be involved with?
This is totally left field. I would love to work with primates, great apes. There's a lot of reserves within Africa that I would love to be a part of, especially victims of the bushmeat industry and the exotic pet trade. I would love to be work hands-on with either bonobos or chimps or gorillas. My favorite animals are the great apes, and I would love to work with them. And if I can't work with them, just donate money. If
until
I can't
you can work with them.
Be there. Yes. I would actually like to go to school, not right now, but later on for zoology or just whatever degree I would need to work with apes, you know?
Right. Well, it seems like you are an animal, like you're an animal lover and advocate.
Yeah.
Like it's, it just
and
goes
beyond,
we talked about the animal shelter in the beginning and now we're talking about apes. So it seems like that's like an even completely out of the film industry that
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a documentary. I don't know. Like also conserving habitat conservation as well is huge in the climate crisis. Those things I really want to work hands-on. I was filming in Long Island and I rented a house, and the woman who owned the house, I never thought about doing stocks, but she's a day trader and she was like, "Oh, Amanda, come here," So then she showed me how to do day trading, how to monitor the stocks, read charts, and to stay on top of things. So I'm really thinking I would also want to get my money or my time into clean energy as well. So I've been looking at a lot of companies that are coming up that focus on conservation, clean energy, and everything else, help the environment.
You stay busy, like you.
Yeah.
But it seems like everything that you are doing are things that you enjoy and love to do, and also a creative outlet for you too. Do you like to do anything else creatively? Like, are you a singer or anything like that incorporated into your? I've seen a few singing videos, so I'm just saying, when are we looking out for the new album or something?
I keep telling Brandon, feature me on something. Like, let's make money together. Feature me. Funny enough, I actually get called in directly by Nickelodeon for Nick Jr. to sing the songs. They'll be like, "Can you have our Manny audition for this?" Blah blah blah, directly to the agent. So, I guess if I'm gonna sing, I would love for it to be in a kids movie or Disney.
Right.
Disney
we are going back to the cartoons. We want an animated series or a movie featuring your voice.
Yeah. Wait, that's still acting. You asked me, like, is there anything else outside of that?
Or singing. You could, it could be a musical type of animation. So then
Yeah. Disney, what's up?
Right.
Actually, I auditioned for Disney a lot. I just haven't booked one yet with them, but time.
I mean,
okay.
time will tell. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be like, I know Manny. Yeah, I've met her before.
I don't care what they cast me. Cast me as a talking goat. I'm there. I'll be the best damn talking goat you ever heard.
Or a talking great ape. I mean, you know.
I would die if I could be a talking chimp or bonobo, because like even like my sign is the for the Chinese New Year is the monkey.
Oh, okay.
100% my personality. I'm definitely, and I'm annoying like the Monkey King. So if I could work with primates,
that's a perfect casting. One of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about is just the future. How do you see yourself in the future in the industry, especially with being a Latina yourself and representation? We're seeing a little bit more as we go by, but where do you see it going in the future? What would you like that impact to be on the industry?
More diversity, because we normalize it, not because they're trying to get the Hispanic, the Asian, or the Black dollar. You know what I'm talking about? Right, have it be to where like we're not even thinking about it having to like, oh wow, look at that diverse cast. You know what I mean? To a point we don't have to think about that. It's just normal.
It's just like, okay, here's another great story to tell.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I right now, which is really good, there's a lot of women of color who are now coming up and writing stories. Women of color writing stories for women of color. Because a long time, you know, and I don't want to sound bad when I say this, but back in the day, the way that we were depicted, and I'm talking Asian, Hispanic, Black, all of us, anybody who is not the white American, the way that we're portrayed is a caricature. I really want there to be a lot more, like I said, female writers and female writers of color, because that's where when the story is authentic. It's not a stereotype. It's not a character. It's not, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Sometimes people see a certain group of people as just a stereotype alone. Like they don't see them as human that have human stories. And seeing it from even comedies. Right.
Even comedies. Like I'll see a comedy that was from a couple years ago, and they'll have a, well, I don't want to say any specifics, but I saw it. There was one Black guy in the whole cast, but he had to be on Jamaican with this fake Jamaican accent. And I'm like, you don't even know what his lineage is. Yes, you can do an accent, but you know, I feel like it's not.
There's no more to his story than just that.
Or they'll have like an Asian male character, and he'll be like, oh, you know, being a stereotype of what an Asian man is, when that's so far from the truth. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It got me heated because I see that stuff and I'm like, Jesus, like, is anybody not seeing how ridiculous this is? And it is changing. I wish it was changing faster. And I wish that, let me calm down. It's,
you have your cup of water right next to you.
Yeah, with the blood of my enemies, you know what I mean? And I don't want to sit here and blame and be like, oh, you know, I don't want to blame a race for anything, because it's not what it is. It is the American culture, and there was such a stain on it. I'm very happy that there's a lot of shows coming out where we do see more women of color in powerful roles. You know, like I said, more women of color writers in the room, because it's very rare. It's very rare to even have women directors, regardless of race. So I would love to see a lot more of that. But going into back to animation, I watched Soul. Did you see that?
I haven't yet. I need to get on that.
On Disney Plus.
Great things about it.
Yeah, it's really, I cried. It's on Disney Plus. I had done some research on it, and it was, everybody was so excited and so hyped up for it, because it's like finally, oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. It's really good. This is why I love animation, because they're able to teach children and tell stories that teach children in a way that it's not in their face, but they can pick up on it and they learn. Like Zootopia, all these different things, whereas Zootopia was like, you know, it is about race, like how all of these people of color are seen and treated. in the city, you had the carnivores and the herbivores, and they were fighting. We all know what that's about.
Right.
Not wanting to sit next to somebody on the subway system because they're a different color or what someone sees as the wrong color. So when I watched the movie Soul, I was watching it just for the storyline. I was really excited. And when I saw the animation, like, I cannot tell you.
I have seen pictures of the animation and I was definitely blown away. One of the things that I saw was the barber, and just like every, like, from the muscle detail to his beard to his hair, it was very, very authentic. So I see what you mean. They have definitely, in that sense, there is growth in the industry in showing more of a beautiful representation rather than this harsh, this is bad, you know, let's paint this people in a certain way. And because, like you said, children, people who watch it are going to soak up on all those little details. You know, we don't, they're looked down as cartoons and everything, but they are saying something. They are saying something about who they are supposed to represent. So I think you're absolutely right about that. And it is an easier way to teach a lesson without being up in your face, like, racism is bad, you know? Like, it's like, see it from talking about representation in the industry and where you'd like to see it go. One of the other things, actually, a few years back, I remember I was watching She's Gotta Have It. I think you were also on that show, right? Yeah. So it's just funny that one of the things that the main character brought up, I am so sorry that I'm missing her name right now. But she talked about having to do her own makeup and hair for the scenes. And I was like awestruck. I was like, wait, why would you have to do that? Why don't you isn't it part of makeup department to have all those things ready for the actress? So I was thinking, did you ever have to go through that yourself?
Not me personally. But I do have friends that they had dreadlocks and stuff, and they had to come 100% with their hair ready. And sometimes some makeup artists, and I'm not saying anything bad about makeup artists. Everyone I've worked with has always been amazing. But there are some, I mean, it is hard, it's getting better, but it's really hard to find certain shades. And if they hire someone and she's of a darker complexion, they may not have the makeup for it. So then she'll have to do that herself or bring in her own makeup and stuff. And then with the hair, I feel like, because when people go to hairdressing school, and I don't want to say like, oh, the hair people, they're so bad for doing this, because this is not something that I feel they had to deal with or what you learn in hair school. And I've realized, like, when you go to beauty school, you're working on more European type hair, but then usually at home, like, because my natural hair, it's burnt and frizzed out, but it's very kinky and coily. So if I wanted to get cornrows, I can't go to the salon to get my cornrows. I can't go anywhere to get my hair done. I would have to go to the Dominican place, and I'll be sitting there, or sometimes even a family's house, and you sit there and they do my hair there because they don't teach that in beauty school. But it is an issue. It is an issue. Yeah.
Wow. I was so surprised when I heard that, because so much so that I remember doing a research, like, even to be a makeup artist or someone on set, it takes years. You know, they want you to have like 5 years experience, and then you have to pay this certain fee to even be able to be on the set to actually do the makeup for the people on the set. So then it can deter some people that may have, like you said, those experience in cornrow or have the kit that has every shade or has a way to help someone, because they're like, do I really want to, you have to be fully dedicated to actually want to do that, Yeah.
I've also realized, I'm just going to real quick, specifically talk about hair texture. So like I said, my natural hair is very, like, when it curls, it goes, and it was very hard to manage and everything. And when I started out, I had very big, like, curly hair, and I went in for an audition, and, I'm Caribbean, I'm Hispanic, we're all mixed up with everything. And this was years ago, like 2015, right? I was told, we don't know what to do with you because you're too white to be black, but your hair and your nose are too ethnic to be white. And I'm like, but I'm neither. I'm Hispanic. Yeah, but I wasn't the type of Hispanic that is pushed. Like, we don't see a lot of characters with curly hair. Now it's starting to change where we're seeing characters with curly hair. When I started out, that wasn't even like a thing, which is why I had always had to straighten my hair, and I cut it all off because I couldn't handle it. And then I grew my hair out, and I had to keep straightening and And now that I want to be on a more natural hair journey, even though my hair is fried and dead, I'm beginning to see more of that.
More.
Does that make sense?
Right.
More
so
different
do you think
hair
that even affected like your headshots and even opportunities as well? Like, did you try to fix yourself in a certain way because you wanted to be able to get roles, or if you had your hair curly, they may not even pay attention to you?
When I started out, yes, I straightened my hair. And I kind of, thinking back of what that individual said to me, back then it was like, I'm new and I'm fresh, and oh my God, somebody notice me, please. Somebody's going to see me and I'm going to be a breakout star and all this stuff. And then to have someone say that to me, and I said nothing, I was like, and I just left. It stayed in my mind. And now that I accept myself more now, and I've been on a journey to love myself and like naturally with my hair and everything, I look back and I'm like, wow, how dare I let someone talk to me like that or say something so ignorant to me like that? But then I didn't know nothing about the industry at that point. Because when you go to school, they teach you the technique, but they never teach you the business and how to navigate the business. And I mean, if somebody wants to be an actor, you better either watch a lot of YouTube, take a business course, take a marketing course, because talent is only a piece of it. If you can't navigate the business, then you really don't have a chance.
Well, that's so funny, because I was just about to ask you, like, what advice would you give someone who wants to be in that industry? And here you are, saying exactly that. So you believe that they should have more than just like their acting, like you said, their skills and everything, but they should be knowledgeable in how to actually market yourself. How do you market yourself as an actress?
It changes. When I started out and I had the buzzed hair and everything like that, it was more of like, oh, she's a badass. She can be a cop. She can play LGBTQ roles and everything. I was very masculine. Or, well, you saw like they put tattoos on me and all that stuff. And as I've let my hair grow out, now I'm going in for roles. I'm very lucky that I'm being sent for like lead roles and shows and stuff that are more, well, it's still like a Latina thing, but it's like, oh, she's a little bit softer. So I'm going for roles that I can physically be softer in. I'm still trying to figure out right now what brand do I want to become or like organically transition into. But yeah, I feel like if someone's just starting out, they really need to sit down with themselves and like, where do I fit in this industry? They need to research, like I said before, the directors, the writers, the producers. They need to think to themselves, okay, what shows do I want to be on? What shows can I realistically be on? And do all that research on top of like marketing, taking a business course or something, because it is a business. It's all about money. This is what it is. And I feel like when people figure out who they are and what they can bring to the table, it's just so much easier to get seen because now you're specific. Does that make sense?
and it also helps you, like you said, choose the kind of roles you want to go for too. Because if you understand who you are and what you want others to perceive you at, or what market you want to target, then you can be really picky about the roles that you go for. Just because someone says you'll be perfect for that doesn't necessarily mean
it is.
If it doesn't,
or it doesn't even mean you're going to be perfect for it.
Right.
If you don't feel it deep down, like some of the advice, because I do get a lot of people who are new in the industry and stuff asking me questions and for advice. A lot of the advice I give, I think it's like, okay, so I gave the business and, marketing and all that stuff. I tell them you get 100 no's before a yes. Everybody knows that. But, if somebody's auditioning and let's say they get 10, 15 auditions and they haven't booked yet, that can be very discouraging. So just keep going, persevere through it, be persistent, just be on top of your marketing and on top of yourself, hold yourself accountable, and then your time will come. Also, I've had someone, sorry, I thought somebody knocked on my door. I've had someone, a teacher, tell the class, he's like, if you can do 2 of these 3 things, you're going to make it, right? He said, 1, be on time. 2, be prepared. 3, don't be an asshole. If you can do 2 of those 3 things, you're good, right? People also ask me like, oh, on set, blah, blah. I say, treat everyone with the utmost respect, from the PA all the way to the producer. Treat everyone the absolute same, regardless of how you feel or whatever. Treat everyone with respect, because it is a collaborative process, and there's hundreds of people that have to come together. Even on set, there's a good 25, 30 people that we're all an integral part of this. Just because you're an actor or the talent doesn't mean that you're any more or any less than anybody else that is on that set. Right. What was the other one? Oh, as an actor, and this is something that I learned while being in the business. I have the right to say no. You know, if somebody says, can you do this? Are you comfortable? And if you are not comfortable, say no. Don't put yourself in a position where it's like, I don't know, you know, if I say no, maybe they'll change my role, or maybe they won't like me. No, if you're uncomfortable, say 100% say no. I've been offered roles that when I saw what I had to do, I said, oh, hell no. I politely declined. In the back of my mind, I was like, I'm gonna do this fucking shit. But in the back, I was like, thank you so much for the opportunity, but I'm gonna politely decline. So, and a lot of actors, they think when they get on set and they're new in the industry, they're like, I have to say yes to everything. I'm gonna be the best this in the world. Like, no, know that you have the power and the right to say no. And that's something that, you know, I had to learn.
Yeah, some people may be scared of the repercussions if they say no, and then in the long run, it has I mean, we've even seen it in the industry in general when people now speak about the times they were afraid to say no and the effects of that, you know. So that's a great, I think that's probably the best advice for anyone, even in any industry. Yeah. Like, if you're not comfortable with something, if it's not in your heart, then you should be able to, you know, speak up for your rights and say, no, this is not what I want. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if they want you enough, they'll make those changes if they respect you enough. If they don't respect you and a decision to say no, walk the fuck out of there. Because that's not a place you need to be anyway. You know, if they're not going to listen, and it's a collaborative process. And even as an actor, if the director is saying, oh, do this, this, and this, it's collaborative. You guys got to go back and forth. If your director does not want to work with you or appreciates what you have to say, or I want to try it like this, if they don't listen like that, then that's not a director that you need to work with, because that's not directing. Director is not like, well, you're going to do this because this is how it should be and blah, 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 blah. You're just an actor. No, you're not a robot. You know, it's a collaborative process. If your director or anything doesn't want to collaborate with you, then maybe that's not where you should be, because maybe you're not being respected. And I think that, you know, regardless of how big your role is or how small, everyone deserves respect and the ability to say, no, I'm uncomfortable with this, which is not what a lot of people say. Like you said, we hear all this stuff where these horror stories, and yeah.
It's reality, you know, it's just what it is. And it's an unfortunate, what do you think about that though? As it seems like there's so much exposure of what really the dirty part of the industry, I should say, because what a lot of us have probably grown up with at a certain point is this glamorized, you know, this is an actress, they're famous, they have the celebrity status, you know, that is what is pictured, that's what we see. However, now there's more information that for some people, before they even reach that status, it's not just about hearing the no's, like you said, like, oh, you go to audition, you know, you don't get the role that you want, but that some people have had to put themselves in a compromising position just to get a yes, or they almost like their career is held in the hands of others because, you know, they want that celebrity status. What do you think about all that reality that we've been confronted with?
If somebody's doing acting just because they want to be famous or be a celebrity, no, walk away from it. Don't put yourself in that position, because I think people will regret it. I'm very happy of the things that I've said no to. I won't talk about them because some of them are very vulgar, but even, if somebody's just doing it because they want to be famous, go create content on TikTok, go create content on Instagram, go to Facebook and be famous that way. Because this is it's a cutthroat business. there's a lot of shady shit that's happening. Like you said, it's being exposed. I'm very blessed and lucky that I've never had to deal with that. Every set I worked on, I've loved everybody on the set. Collaborative. They made me feel so safe and comfortable, which is what I mean. And if you do anything in life to feel safe and comfortable, that's a huge thing. And I'm lucky I haven't experienced any of that type of negativity. But you have to really, you have to do it because you love it. The money, if you love it and you stay on top of yourself and you do the work and you do the marketing and the business and you keep going, keep going, then yeah, you have to have a really strong heart and you have to really love yourself a lot. There's some times that I've been in a audition room and I see the women and they look like models. They're tall, they're, gorgeous everywhere. And I'm like, damn, why am I here? But then I have to look in the mirror and be like, I'm here because they saw something in me. And I have to love myself. And in order to say no, I feel like in order to have the confidence to say no, somebody really has to know who they are and really love themselves, like deeply love themselves, not in a narcissistic, oh, I'm so beautiful kind of way, but like all this stuff is all me. I love me from head to toe, physical, mental, emotional. And you really got to take care of yourself too, because there's a lot of suicide in the industry as well. And I used to, when I was younger and I wasn't, being young and watching the stars and everything, I never thought about mental illness. I never thought about like, why are these actors have everything? These celebrities they have money, they have wealth, they're famous. Why are they killing themselves? Oh my gosh. Right. You really have to take a lot of care of yourself to not. And I've been in that low rut place where, man, depression was terrible. I had gone, I'm right now like almost 140 in weight. I had gone to 105. Ribs and everything. Yeah. And because I was depressed, I couldn't bathe, I couldn't everything. And I'm like, why do I feel this way? I'm doing good things in the industry. I'm being seen. They're calling me in. Why do I feel so depressed? Why do I feel so sick? Why am I literally dying? So I have to gather myself. Yeah. People really have to take care of themselves in the industry and really know who they are and love themselves and have a good support system and be around people that's going to elevate them and lift them. And also going to tell you if you're acting out of pocket, like, what's up? Or if you're looking sick, like how I was, nobody told me, oh my God, Manny, you look terrible. No one told me that I was a stick. You know what I mean? That's when I left Texas and I came back to New York in the first few months of my acting stuff. But yeah, people just really got to take care of themselves. There needs to be a balance.
How do you take care of your mental health now, knowing what you know now and from your experience? What do you make sure that you stay on top of? Other than having the support system that you have, how do you make sure that you don't regress into that darkness again?
I go to therapy. And then people are like, but Manny, you're so strong, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I can be strong, but even if someone's strong, that doesn't mean that they're not susceptible to feeling depressed or suffering from a mental illness or anything. Really, me, I go to therapy. I have a therapist. I have a nurse practitioner. I put in the work. The gym makes me feel good. All the dopamine, everything that happens there. And sometimes I just like look at myself and to tell myself in the mirror, hey, I love you. You're worthy. I'm very appreciative of everything. I try not to look at negatives and just stay on positives, even how I speak, instead of saying, oh God, I don't want the red light. I tell myself the light's going to turn green and boom. It's like what I put out, I'm trying to receive, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain to somebody, like, how do you take care of yourself? Well, I eat clean and I go to the gym, but there has to be a lot of stuff where I need to look at myself and be like, remember, you're a person. You need to sleep.
I think it's a daily exercise you have to do, like almost like a reminder, like just like how you said, you go to the gym, you lift the weights or whatever, and you're repetitive with it so that you stay on track with what you're doing. And in a way, that's the same thing you have to do with your mental health. You have to practice those good thoughts, putting out positive vibes into the atmosphere so you can receive it, reminding yourself that this moment where you kind of feel this darkness is temporary and you're going to make it through. You've made it through before. You're going to do it. It's kind of like a constant reminder to yourself. It constant workout, mental workout.
It is. It is. And let me tell you, the industry will knock you down. They'll be like, oh, well, you look to this, you look to that. And like I said before, if that's what they're gonna tell you, then maybe that's not where you need to be.
Right.
You know,
Right. Wow. I thank you so much for being honest, in this conversation. I think that is so important that we're very transparent with everything that goes on and inspire others, and others can see that in you. When we're not honest with ourselves or what we're going through, we don't come off as authentic, and some people may perceive us as one way that is not what you're really trying to show out to the world. So Thank you for being really honest about that and what you've gone through and how you're overcoming it. And you're day by day. Day by day, but you're doing a wonderful job, and it's very inspiring to see you just stay focused even with anything that comes your way. I really appreciate you coming in today. I had so much fun talking to you. I feel like we could talk forever.
You got me crying twice.
I'm sorry.
I got a little too comfortable. I said a little too much to you. I got a little too comfortable.
Well,
usually I don't cry.
This makes me feel good. I want you to be comfortable. This is a conversation of, just life. This is life. So
even in the industry, like one thing I like to tell people too, don't see it as a competition, because it's not. In my mind, if I audition for something and maybe they won't give it to me, but they'll give it to another Hispanic woman or to somebody else, to me, instead of me being mad, like, oh, I didn't get that, but that girl got it. No, to me, anything that elevates us is going to elevate us. You got it. You go, girl. You kill it. You deserved it 100%. Not
You're opening doors for more of us.
Exactly. It's like, I'll get mine, but congratulations on yours. It's not a competition.
Right.
When you're right, you're right.
And there's so many stories to be told, There's so many stories and things that we all still need to learn about each other. So
100%. It's a lifelong thing.
So where can we find your amazing, funny content? Because I enjoy them. Let the people know where we can find your belly dancing, your workouts, your singing.
So my Facebook is Manni L. Perez. It's my name, as your other name. Same thing with the Instagram is at Manni L. Perez, but there's no period after the L. Okay. And then TikTok is Manni L. Perez again.
You have a TikTok. Oh, snap. I got to check that out. Yeah,
it's not that exciting. I only got 3 videos because I've been away filming. So I'm I haven't had time to really play with it. But I'm going to try.
Okay. All right. What are you allowed to tell us what you're filming right now? Or is it top secret?
What I've been filming, I can't talk. It's big, okay. But I can't talk about it because I signed an NDA. Okay. But y'all see.
Okay. And when are we gonna know the details about this secret NDA stuff? When is there any perceived dates in the future, or
I don't even know. It's so secretive that I only get bits and pieces as they come. So okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I guess in the future I'm gonna get an exclusive. You're gonna have to have me back on the show to talk about this big thing. So
I'll come in. I'll tell you what's going on, and I'll get away. Another hairpiece. Let me tell you, that fake ponytail. When I put that on, I'm like, oh. And Brendan is like, you look good in it. I'm like, I know. I'm still rocking it. Let me tell you, people be like, where you get your hair pieces from? I'm like, IDA, bitch. What's up? I go there. Go to Middletown. It's there.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I you've always been supportive. So, whenever I see you in the store, it's always really fun. And we always have a great time talking and catching up. So yeah, this is just a different way to catch up. So it's awesome. All right. So let me let you go. Okay. Thank you again. Thank you everyone for listening to today's conversation. I hope you enjoy it, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, everyone.